Hello virtual dreamers, Gregory here, and this is the Prologue, a weekly series of videos where I document my activities, status changes, and quest progression, all for the sake of completing my ultimate goal of eventually breaking down the barriers between dreams and reality. The quests I had active for this past week were 2 per week as the side quest, and the Vision of the Future for the main quest. Let's get you all caught up on where we are right now. Earlier this week, I got the package in the mail of Sword Art Online Ordinal Scales Limited Edition. I already mentioned it, but the main reason why I ordered this was because I wanted to be able to look at the reference book that they provide inside of the material in order to get a better grasp of some of the things that Ordinal Scale kind of introduced into the SAO lore for some things I have in mind for the future. So I'm just really glad to have that, and also glad to share that my SAO collection continues to expand. I might need to get another shelf or something just to kind of keep all this stuff fitting in there. Holy mackerel. Outside of that, my schedule is still more or less about as hectic as it usually is. I've still got plenty of schoolwork to be doing because we are in that final week before the class is all over, so we've got exams coming up, plenty of studying to do, so definitely not the time to be taking it easy, but I'm really just more concerned at this point with just getting everything sorted out for once August comes in, and I can just 100% go in on the development of my current game project, just because I want to have the main game design and level stuff pretty much done by that month, and leave the rest of the year mainly for polishing and just minor tweaking here and there, and learning the ins and outs of publication and how to even get my game available to you guys. So yeah, it's just going to be really hectic overall once that's done, but I'm just really hoping that the next semester of school doesn't end up killing me as much as this one did. Well, that really does just about sum up what the past week was. Nothing really else to report. The side quest, 2 per week, is continuing on as per usual. I managed to reach 170.2 pounds this week, which is a 6-month low for me. So yeah, I guess you could tell that the quest is really doing its job, because I've really managed to just tank that number down. I mean, I'm just looking at my FitnessPal's chart, and it's just like, you could almost see it kind of like form an arch from the lowest point where I was at 165 at the end of my diet last year. It just kind of steadily rose, and now that we hit that point, it's like, go back down. Well, it's a bit more of a sinusoidal pattern where it just keeps going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, within a certain range, but still, though, it feels good to be at the low point, so yeah, definitely really glad that the quest is working out as intended at this point. But that's to be expected, since that can be really managed at a relatively normal clip. As for the main quest, though, the quest, Vision of the Future, for the week of July 15th through to July 21st is in progress. As you can see from the footage, I've actually got the main parts of Sword Art Online's nerve gear pretty much formulated already. We've got the portion that covers the scalp, the kind of 2 side pieces, as well as the neck portion, but I really want to take some extra time just to really give this thing a nice little bit of TLC that it really needs to go one step above what it's currently at. I just want to focus on polishing this up because I'm really liking how it's turning out. There's still a few elements that are missing, so that can't really allow it to be called complete either, but the general shape still feels pretty good, and I can't wait to share the final result with you guys. I should have the UV map for the NVG just pretty much set up as his own little separate piece, so you guys can see where that is clearly on the map, so you can make your own edits if you ever decide to open up that file. The LED indicator lights still need to be added in, as well as their text. I want to make it so that the visor has a little block in front of it, so you can modify that as well, or add a texture to it. Or maybe I can just modify that within the UV, but the general point being, I just want you to be able to add graphics as an overlay, so maybe if you want to use it inside of a VR application yourself, where you put on the nerve gear and it just shows up, and you can put the time and LED and the, all those indicators right there in the upper left corner, just like they were in Sword Art Online, it should be pretty much easy enough for you to do just by modifying what's already there. I also want to make it so that you can actually put it on similarly to how they show in the show. The reference image that I looked at kind of makes it seem as though that the way people put on the nerve gear is that the helmet kind of like opens up from the back, where it kind of like does a bit weird of a clamshell thing. So it kind of just moves over top or like that. So you kind of just slide it over your head instead of just having it like put on directly, which is kind of an interesting mechanism. I was really curious about that, actually, because just looking at some of these characters, I'm like, how in Sanctuary did they put that on? Because you cannot put it on just straight on, because otherwise the neck would be uncomfortable, so it had to kind of like collapse in somehow. And it really makes me understand how there's this kind of weird like overlapping design, and it makes me kind of glad also that I decided not to make its nerve gear in just one whole piece. That was a bit of a happy accident in the modeling process, actually. And the visor is also its own separate part, so it should just kind of slide in and out as well once things are all set up. But I'm just going to have to modify the anchor points in order to get that done. So yeah, just little touches, everybody, but hopefully by the time things are done, we should have a really nice looking Sword Art Online nerve gear model ready for anybody to use online as they see fit. Well, everybody, I do want to avoid having another in progress for next week, just in case I don't finish it. So I'm going to put the rule to basically say that if I don't finish this quest by next week, it'll be counted as a fail. At the end of the day, I've still got other things to be doing, and I can't allow myself to take too long on these projects, everybody. So yeah, it should be interesting. Keep me on my toes. That just about does it for me, but you all had a quest to be completing as well. Your job was to figure out what mistake ABEC made when they created the illustration of Aincrad for the first light novel of Sword Art Online. And if we have a look at the book right here, yep, this is ABEC's Sword Art Online ABEC Works art book, which shows a bunch of the art that has been made for the Sword Art Online series. And if I open it up right here, to the first page, they actually include a bit of commentary right here on this portion of the page, explaining that ABEC actually didn't like how things turned out in the end, just because people kind of called them on him. It's like, it's supposed to have a conical shape, but it looks almost cylindrical and weird with the way you drew it. So ABEC just felt kind of bad with how it looked, and it only got worse once the animation studio got on it, and we all know what that basically iconic shape of Aincrad looks like at this stage. So yeah, ABEC, I feel for you, man, but yeah, that anime just completely blew you away. A1 Pictures just, they really knock it out of the park for Sword Art Online's just natural background work. It really makes you want to play the games. There were 5 openings in order to clear this quest, but it wound up being that only one person cleared it. So regardless of the fact that there were 4 shoutout slots and 1 main slot, it seems only one person got it, so it seems the other 4 slots were unnecessary. It's unfortunate, but those 4 slots will now remain completely empty for all time. But regardless, the one person that cleared it still cleared it, and they get their reward. Kira Dit, congratulations on clearing the quest Point of Embarrassment for the week of July 15th through to July 21st. You really managed to pull through there. Would have been a shame to have nobody do this thing. The character you requested was Ruby Rose from RWBY, RWBY. I was really excited with the selection you made because it means I get to work on something that the late Monty Oum created as well. With that, let's show the drawing. As you can see, I decided to draw Ruby just plain old, just beginning the game, since I'd imagine that people would want to kind of switch things out almost as soon as they got in. It really was fun to draw Ruby, and she's just a very fun and happy character in general, and I like drawing happy characters. They're kind of my type overall, so it was really a lot of fun. Thank you very much for your selection, Kira Dit. It was a lot of fun for me to draw, and I hope you'll enjoy the sketch. Well then, everyone, that just about does it for your current quest, but it's time to get a new quest up and coming, and that quest will be Oculus Naming Scheme. Your task will be to describe the naming scheme that Oculus uses for the prototype units that they reveal to the press of their virtual reality head-mounted displays. In addition, you must also name the most recent headset prototype name as of July 21st, since I kind of record these videos on the Sunday, and I wouldn't want to find out all of a sudden that on Wednesday they revealed another headset and kind of messed up my expectations, so you guys know what I mean there. The reward for this quest will be a drawing of the character of your choosing from just about the height that I'm in this clip, so a little bit of the collarbone up to the head, a little bit of space above. It'll be kind of a bit of a bust shot, if you know what I mean. So, the character of your choosing will be drawn in a bust shot. Only one person can receive this quest, along with the other 4 openings for shoutouts. Good luck, my fellow adventurers and dreamers. Till next time, this has been Gregory, logging out.